Okay, good day, sir and friend. We are from Group 5. Gonna present our material is about text objection and appeal. Our group is consists of Fatikah Dwi Putri Harminita, Muhammad Ilham Kastalani, and me, Ricardo Chen. So first thing first, the definition of the text objection. Objection is an action from the taxpayer who feels dissatisfied with the tax assessment imposed on him or analogy by the third party. In this case, the taxpayer can give an objection to the Dirjen Pajak through the tax service office. Most of the taxpayer do this objection process because the tax assessment letter atau surat ketetapan pajak is considered unfair by the taxpayer. So here the 5 things that can be an objection by the taxpayer. According to the Article 25 of the KUP law, that a taxpayer can request a tax objection only to one, underpaid tax assessment letter atau surat ketetapan pajak kurang bayar, two, additional underpayment tax assessment letter atau surat ketetapan pajak kurang bayar tambahan, three, overpaid tax assessment letter atau surat ketetapan pajak lebih bayar, four, zero tax assessment atau surat ketetapan pajak nihil, and the last one, withholding or collection by third party atau pemotongan atau pemungutan oleh pihak ketiga. And here the point that cannot be as a tax objection. The first one is reduction of administrative sanction such as interest and fines, and the second one is the reduction of or cancellation of the tax assessment letter is incorrect. Jadi wajib pajak ini sendiri tidak bisa mengajukan keberatan pajak atas sanksi administratif yang telah diberikan. Wajib pajak ini sendiri hanya bisa mengajukan keberatan terhadap materi atau isi dari 5 surat yang sudah saya sebutkan tadi, yang meliputi jumlah rugi berdasarkan ketentuan peraturan perundang-undangan perpajakan, jumlah besaran pajak, atau terhadap materi atau isi dari pemotongan atau pemungutan pajak. The next one is the requirement of objection. One is submit in writing in the Indonesian language. Two, must state the reason clearly. Three, obligation to state the amount of tax payable according to the calculation of the tax payable. Four, one objection is filed only for the one tax assessment letter, for one tax withholding, or for one tax collection. Five, the taxpayer has paid off the accrued tax, at least an amount that have been approved by the taxpayer in the final discussion of the audit result. And six, submit within 3 months from the date of sending the tax assessment letter. And next is way of submission of the objection letter. One, with direct submission, which is direct to the service office, extension officer, and tax consultation. Two, with post with proof of mail delivery. Three, with an expedition service or courier service. And the last one with via e-filing. I think that's all for me. The next material will be presented by the Fatikah.
I will continue the explanation. The material is objection settlement process. Objection that meet the requirement will be further processed by the Directorate General Pajak. Before the General of Taxes submit a notification letter to attend, things that can be done in the process of settling objection are as following. First, Directorate General Pajak asks information, data, or information addition from taxpayer. Second, taxpayer convey reason, addition, or explanation written for complete or clarify letter the objection that have been delivered, either at the will the taxpayer concerned in order to fulfill the request of the Director General Pajak as regulated in number 1. Third, Director General Pajak conducts audits for other purpose in order to object to obtaining data or objective information that can be used as a basis for considering the objection decision. Notification letter for attendance, which is a letter sent to taxpayer containing the opportunity for the taxpayer to attend a meeting with the tax official within the stipulated time to provide information or obtain an explanation regarding the result of objection research. The notification letter for attendance submitted to the taxpayer is intended to obtain information or explanation regarding the objection. If the taxpayer is not present at the time specified in the notification letter for attendance, the objection process will still be resolved without waiting for the taxpayer presence. Likewise, if bookkeeping records, data, information, or other information that is not provided at the time of the audit will not be considered in the settlement of the objection, unless the books, records, information, or other information are with a third party have not been obtained by the taxpayer at the time of the audit. Authority Director General Pajak in the process of completion object, namely first, borrowing books, records, data, and information in hard copy or soft copy from the taxpayer related to the disputed material by submitting a request letter for borrowing books, records, data, and information. Second, requesting the taxpayer to provide information related to the disputed material through the submission of the letter or of request for information. Third, requesting information or evidence related to the disputed material from a third party who has relationship with the taxpayer, as referred to Article 54 of Government Regulation Number 74 at 2011 concerning procedure for the implementation of tax rights and fulfillment of tax obligation through the submission of letter requesting data and information to third parties. Fourth, the requesting taxpayer place, including other place needed. 5. Discussing and clarify the necessary matters by summoning the taxpayer by submitting a summons, using the format stipulated in the regulation of Minister of Finance number 9 concerning procedures for filing and settlement of objection disputes. Next is decision of objection. The period for the settlement of objection is set within a maximum period of 12 months from the date the objection letter is received. A decision must be made on the objection submitted from the decision of the Director General Pajak. On the objection can be in the form of grant in whole or in part, refuse, increase the amount of tax that must be paid. Director General Pajak is given the authority to settle the first level of the objection letter submitted by the taxpayer with the provision that the deadline for the settlement of the decision on the objection of the taxpayer that have been determined is no later than 12 months from the date or of receipt the objection letter. If the objection settlement period is accepted, that the Director General of Taxes does not issue a decision of objection, then the objection submitted by the taxpayer is considered approved, and the Director General Pajak is obligated to issue a decision letter of objection in accordance with the taxpayer objection. Before decision letter is issued, the taxpayer may submit additional reasons or a written explanation. I think that's all from me.
Okay, now I'm going to explain about sanction in tax objection. Based on Pasal 25 Ayat 9 Undang-Undang KUP, if the taxpayer objection is rejected or partially agreed, and the taxpayer doesn't apply for an appeal, so an appeal request will be charged on administration sanction for 50% from the total of taxes based on the objection decision, reduced with the taxes that have been paid before. The sanction must be paid within 1 month since the publishing date of an objection decision letter, and distress warrant will be issued if the taxpayer doesn't pay off their debt. But this sanction, as you can see, here are the undang-undang. But this sanction is changed because of UU HPB. The taxpayer only need to pay 30%, reduced from 50% before. As you can see, the new revised undang-undang in here, right here. And then it's the same if the taxpayer feel unsatisfied with this decision, then the taxpayer can apply or submit for an appeal to the Pusat Peradilan or the tax court for taxes, peradilan pajak, and then they can apply for an appeal. Now I'm going to explain to you what is an appeal. So an appeal is a legal effort that the taxpayer can do against a decision that can be appealed. In this case is an objection letter. And there are some requirements that we need to do when we want to make an appeal. We need to prepare some requirements. One of the requirement is, first, you only make propose only one appeal letter for one decision. So you only make one per decision that you want to appeal. And then the second one appeal letter submit with a concrete reason and consist of the date when received the decision letter that you want to appeal. And then the third one, the appeal letter submitted in Indonesian language to pengadilan pajak or tax court. And then the four requirements, appeal can be submitted within 3 months since receiving the decision letter that want to be appealed. And then that's the requirement that you need to prepare when you want to appeal for something, when you want to appeal for some decision that the Pusat Peradilan make before. And then there are some problems that might be occurred when you try to appeal. Like, let's say if the appellant is someone that apply for an appeal. If the appellant passed away, the appeal can be submitted by his or her heir, hak waris yang punya hak waris mereka, and or maybe the pengampu in the case of pemohon banding pilot because the appellant passed away. And then the second condition is if the appellant merge or liquidate its company, the appeal request can be continued by the parties that receive recognition. Jadi jika melakukan merger atau likuidasi company yang sekarang ini, berarti nanti appealnya ini bisa dilanjutkan oleh orang yang bertanggung jawab berikutnya, yang mergernya atau yang membeli company ini. And then if there is also a sanction for an appeal. If the request for appeal is rejected or partially agreed, the taxpayer will be charged for 100% from the total of tax based on the appeal decision reduced with the taxes that already been paid. There are many examples that I will show you the example in this picture. Next. As we can see in the picture, let's say that PT ABC have an SKPKB of 1 billion rupiah. SKPKB is surat ketetapan pajak kurang bayar. And then because of this, they they only agree to pay only 200 million rupiah after pembahasan hasil akhir pemeriksaan. And then they submitted an objection for the rest to Director General Pajak. And then the Director General Pajak only partially agreed and then came with a conclusion that they need to pay 750 million more. And because of this, because they only partially agreed, PT ABC will pay the sanction of this objection. As you can see, there are two versions, the before revised one and then the after revised one. Here are some example of an appeal sanction. Let's say that after PT ABC received their objection decision from the Director General Pajak, they feel unsatisfied with the decision and then they apply for an appeal. And after the appeal, Director General Pajak only partially agreed about the appeal. And then they stated that they need still to pay, the tax needs to be paid are 450 million rupiah. And then there are the sanction based on Pasal 27 Ayat 5D. And also in an appeal, there is a revocation or pencabutan. So the revocation of an appeal, it's an appeal that has been submitted by appeal letter, can be requested for revocation with the letter of revocation that are going to be submitted to the tax court Peradilan Pajak. Appeal that has been revoked can be erased from the dispute list with yang pertama, penetapan kedua dalam hal surat pernyataan pencabutan diajukan sebelum sidang dilaksanakan. Yang kedua, putusan majelis atau hakim tunggal melalui pemeriksaan dalam hal surat pernyataan pencabutan diajukan dalam sidang atas persetujuan terbanding. Appeal that has been revoked by the statement before can be appealed again. Jadi cuma one time only. Okay, I think that's all that I can explain about appeal and sanction the objection. Thank you.